Happy Saturday, Gemstones. My bad. What? I totally forgot to make my coffee. And I needed to, I couldn't go another hour without it. Good morning, everyone. Oh, and I got my water too. Perfect. Okay. So let's see. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I cannot believe it is the last Saturday in November. Like, time, it is the last Saturday in November. Hey, W squared. Hey, Larunda. Yes, yes. I hope everyone is well today too. WM, welcome. Hey, Moni. Good to see you. Mari, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh my goodness. I literally was like sitting down and I'm like, I have my water, but where's my coffee? I intended on making the coffee about 10 minutes ago and it slipped my mind. But anyway, I'm still tripping over how this month is over. December 1st is on Monday. This is insane. Okay, let me see who else is here, and then we will do our. My Gym Nation is in the building. Hey, Kimberly, welcome, welcome. Namesake, welcome from Florida. I'm trying to down that because I forget to drink while I'm talking and all of that. So, anyway, welcome back, Cynthia. Good to see you. Good to see you. It is so interesting because I had to move this light so it wasn't in my eye. Let me see what happens. Yeah, no, that's too dark. Last night, as I was doing some work and some recaps for the residency consultations that I do, and another consultation that I had, just a general consultation about planning, preparing, accountability. I was flipping, excuse me, I was flipping channels, and MSNBC came on with Joy Ann Reid. And she had a conversation last night basically about what we are going to talk about today. Now, her conversation, I see that big shadow. It is what it is. Basically, what we're going to talk about today is, listen, women, we got to get a plan together. When I go over some of the information, I don't like this light, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me try to clip it on too. It's going to be in my eyes. It's actually probably going to shut down, but women, we need to get our plan in place, because what these people have in store for us is nothing nice, nothing pretty, nothing that we want for ourselves or our daughters or our sons for that matter. And so I thought it was ironic because Maya Wiley is, for those who don't, for those of you who don't know, she's a civil rights attorney, and she studied, you know, she studied these topics for years. And the way she was answering the questions when Joy Ann was trying to make her kind of say, oh, we shouldn't be too worried that this will happen, talking about taking what is it, no fault divorce, where if the woman wants a divorce and the man doesn't, the husband doesn't, then the husband's decision trumps the wife's decision, and there will be no divorce. When she asked her, like, is that really going to happen? And basically Maya was like, it very well could happen. And I'm summarizing, but she gave a more detailed explanation as to why it's definitely a possibility. And so I thought, I'm like, you know what, this, the timing, like, God, listen, That God doesn't play. So if you get a chance, I'm saying all that to say, if you get a chance, and you could search Maya Wiley, Joyanne Reed's interview on November 29th. Check it out. Check it out. I thought it was quite interesting, and especially coming from a civil rights attorney who has been fighting for the rights of people all her, her entire career. She also ran for mayor of New York a few years back, but she's quite brilliant. She also has a book out. She's biracial, and she talks of, she shares her story about her parents and the civil rights issues with that. So yeah, I highly recommend you checking out that conversation, which completely supports the conversation we're going to have today. So I thought that was just very interesting. Let's see who else is in the house, and then we'll get started. It's time is okay, it's 9:10. So yeah, we'll get started. Fellow gemstones. Good morning from the West Coast. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, my early riser. Welcome, Yvette. Welcome back. Good morning, Jen Kim with the gems. Yep. And Gym Nation. I woke up at 6 a.m. to start my exercise routine again, and this came on at the perfect time. So let's stay healthy, y'all. Kiki B that's a gem right there. Listen, if you got to get up early to get stretching, to get whatever walking, get it done. I couldn't do it early today because it's too cold. But I have my outfit ready, and as soon as this ends, I'm not even going to watch Exodus today. I'm Exodus Summit. I'm going to get out and get my little workout in, but thank you for that, Jim, because we have to stay healthy if we are going to move the way we need to move. Hey, Raw Reality. Maya Wiley ran for mayor. Oh, that's what I just said. Yes, she did. I didn't even see the comment, but yes, she did. Listen, we got what we got, though. Mayor Wiley, yes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, Alana. Or welcome, Alana. I don't know if I saw this Alana before. I saw another one. And what is so sad is that we are able to tap into this information if you research. And it amazes me that some people are still saying that this is not actually going to happen because we don't research, and they know that. We watch the news, we take what everyone says and disseminates from their favorite news sites, and that's the gospel. They don't go deeper. And I think the news did a horrible job in really explaining these things. They focused on abortion rights, and that's it. And I get it. There are people, if you are a person who has been raised with Christian values, and you hear that this side only wants to promote abortions without giving it any context, yeah, and then you don't dig any deeper. They knew how to play us, basically. They did their research, right? They did their research on how to get us to not look any further. Hey, Patricia Beasley, y'all may need a copy of. Yep, exactly. And I brought the divorce thing up in a video. Was it last week? It might have been the video talking about Project 2025 last week. I don't know. We've been going every day, so I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate. And I got like comments that were like the same thing. Stop fear mongering. This is not true. Why are you lying to the people? This and that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep telling my side of the truth, which is the truth that a lot of scholars also agree with. So I agree with that. Keep a copy of your divorce decree as well as a notebook. And I'm gonna just reinstate it because I didn't state it the first time when I went over papers you need. Make sure your bank cards are not about to expire. If they are, go ahead and get them changed and renewed now. Make sure that if you need to move any money due to your marital situation legally, right? Within legal parameters, do that now, because this doctrine that they want to implement in this country, they have a 180-day timeline to do as much damage as they can. That's 6 months, y'all. So what is that? They get January 20th. Is that June 20th? July 20th. Excuse me. July 20th. Well, let's say June 20th, because by June 20th, they are going to be well on their way of, dismantling certain things. So, oh, feed the horses. I'm allergic to horses. I found out, and but I love beautiful horses. Oh, it's 31 degrees in New Mexico. Oh my gosh, it is. Let me tell you, here it is. Oh goodness, 32 degrees, which is why I did not get out early to get my little run in. Um, and then we'll get into it. Okay, we got like 30. Do me a favor, if you're here and you've been here and you know what's, the conversations we have, go ahead, hit that like button now. This way more people will get notified while we're having the conversation. If you haven't been here before, you don't have to hit the like button. Stick around. If I say something you like, I'll remind you to hit the like button later. But and if I've already said something that you like, go ahead and hit the like button. Hey, Angie Mo. Oh, it's 30 degrees where I am. So I think you're out on Strong Island. So you may be closer to the water. That's why it's a little colder. But yes, welcome from Orlando, Christine. Oh, BK in the house. Nice to see you. Welcome, my other New Yorker. You did pay your tithe, so that's what we call it here. Well, that's what Christine, I think, I forgot who gave it the name. It might have been Christine. Hitting the like button is paying tithes. For those of you, with a church background, you have to pay your tithes, so, and I think a like is less than 10% of your, of your income this week. So if you could just hit the like button. When I was a Christian, that organization would not let me work at their resort because I was divorced. Oh, he gave permission, but that was cray cray. So I believe, listen, Back to the Future is the name on the thumbnail. Like, this isn't something new. This is not something that has never happened before. They already have the playbook. They already have the rule book. We got too big for our britches, as my mama and grandmama used to say. And so now they're going to rail that back in, and Black women are going to suffer even worse, and we'll get into that. And so, okay, all right. So we're stopping at Sapphire D for now. We'll come back in a minute. Do you need an apostille? I always mix up that word, but it's when you actually get your document, like a stamp and notary from your state saying that it's official. So this is what I say about that. If you plan on moving abroad, if you plan on living abroad for any amount of time as a married couple, or with your children, then I highly recommend it. While you don't need it for certain, like, it doesn't need to be apostille. There you go. Immediately, to get residency in certain places, when you are there doing business, if you need to, I don't know, whatever it is you need to do as a married couple, the other institutions that you work with may want or may request it, and a lot of times it has to have that official stamp. So if you're planning on staying here, then I can't see why that would be necessary. But if you plan on, yes, moving, I would definitely recommend it, even if the country that you're moving to does not. Okay, all right. Speaking of money, is there a certain amount I should plan to travel with? I was thinking 5,000. Patricia, that is a question that depends on so many things, right? How long are you going for? What type of housing? Are you okay, renting a room versus, staying in a luxury so there's a lot of things that I would have to know before answering that. But anyway, okay, so let's get into today's topics. Today's topic, let's go to my notes. So as I mentioned, the thumbnail. So quite honestly, I've never watched Handmaid's Tale. Whenever things like that start to get a lot of attention, pay attention. I had a feeling that there would be some truth to this fictional story, right? But the Handmaid's Tale is known, for women. The women that are part of the Handmaid's Tale, right, have no rights, basically. And so, based on our series, oh, and I have to introduce myself. Let me finish my train of thought. Based on our series of Staying Ready So We Don't Have to Get Ready, um, the breakdown or summary, I should say, of this document, this manifesto, the presidential transition, the Project 2025 document, includes women and what they think of us, their plan for us across all different sectors. And today's topic is really just to get you thinking. Like, I can't give you your plan, right? I can't give you a plan. It's to give you the information so you can start developing what your plan is going to look like. Everyone's plan will look different, but the point is we need a plan. And then once we get that plan, we have to take action on that plan. And so for many of us who have been coming, to this series, to these lives over the past, tomorrow will make 3 weeks, 21 days. Can you believe it? It started out as a 7-day live series, and we are at 21 days. Today is actually the 21st day. So tomorrow will be the 22nd. Anyway, I want everyone to get a plan together because things are about to change, and they're going, if the other side has it their way, if that side has it their way, they will change rapidly. And we don't want to be caught without having a plan. So again, if you're in a situation, the DV situation with your husband, start what are we doing? What are we doing within the next month? 28 days. What is my first step to change that, right? And so as you know, I love Ian Van Zandt, like Beloveds. This is coming out of pure care, concern, and love for my community. Like, I'm not telling anyone what to do when it comes to their marriage, but just know that there may be a timeline on when you can actually do anything as a married person, as a woman, as the wife. And so it's all to bring this information to the forefront. And let me introduce myself. Hey, everyone. Those of you that don't know, who haven't been part of this 21-day, 22-day series, I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. I am the founder and creator of the Black Travel and Culture community. We've been around since 2017, right? So this is not something that is new. This is not something that I just thought up this week or 3 weeks ago. Was like, let me jump and start talking my talk. No, I am an expert in the travel world as it relates to Black people, pretty much, and the limited information that we have in this space. I also worked most of my career in Black media. And what I did also required me to go to different places. I worked in the travel category, should say, as one of many. So the travel category, which allowed me to speak to a lot of heads of um, islands and different destinations and really understand what their research said about the Black travel market and what was the truth, and really try to sell them on the truth, right? one of the misnomers was Black people don't travel because they don't even have checking accounts, right? They don't, forget credit cards, they don't have checking accounts, when that was not the truth. So that's the type of stuff I did. So I just give that as an underscore, because people are like, okay, who are you to talk about this? Well, that's a little bit of my history. One day I'll do a deep dive in my history, but that's not part of this mission right now. I started this series through a divine message. I have been on YouTube for a while. You could see my videos from 2022 talking about my journey to Mexican residency. I did it myself. These videos were posted in 2022. So this is not something that I just made up, and that's the thing. Like, I really am concerned about some people that I see on these platforms talk, and I know they don't know what they're talking about. And so that, I think, was part of my divine mission, to come in and start sharing all the gems, all the tips that I have. And as we go week by week, more things are exposed that I think need to be brought to the forefront. So I ask that you subscribe to the Kim, aka Kim with the Gems channel. So hit that subscribe button. I ask you to share this. When I get the messages that I shared your video, or I get a message from somebody who was like, so and such sent me your video, this came right on time, I just was talking to my family about this is going to be helpful. Like, when I get those, I only need one. I only need one a week, and I'm gonna keep this train going, because that is literally validating this movement. So share this with someone. Go ahead, hit the like button. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. The questions are getting pretty, this, oh my goodness. I had 6 days ago, there were 6,000 of us. Yesterday, we were at like 8,200. So the growth of this community, it far exceeds my expectations. So if I take a little while to get to the comments, trust me, I will get to the comments eventually. Well, up until this date. Now, once we get past the 10K, I can't make no promises. I'll get to the ones I can, but hopefully the community will fill in, the gap and comment. And so, yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I think, share this. Oh, and have the conversation. Like, even if you don't share these videos, I want you to start having conversations with your network, with your tribe, with your friends and family. If you don't have a network, if you don't have a tribe, start developing one. There are lots of resources, tons of resources for Black men and women who are looking to make a change by either moving abroad, bopping around the world, or whatever. So try to connect with those and find your tribe. Somebody had made a comment yesterday, I think it was that they're solo 53 or something like that. Man, listen, I already gave references. There's this woman from Poverty to Paradise. She is 53 years old, did a early retirement. She is now living on a cruise or different cruise ships full time with a $2,000 budget. Check out her channel. She breaks down how she's able to do it. She is living her best life. She's solo. I know, listen, I prefer sometimes to move solo, because there are so many beautiful communities outside of these borders, that and friends that you can make. And just don't let being solo stop you, because there's a community and tribe of people with like-minded people that you can tap into. Okay, so I'm going to pull up what we're going to talk about today. And y'all know me, I have to talk through this. So present, share screen, share screen. Okay. And if you're coming in like new and now, listen, we're going to stop before 9 o'clock today, simply because I want to respect another YouTuber who's a mentor of mine. Y'all could go to her channel after. Her name is, it's the Exodus Summit. It's really geared for women. So if you're a man here, I don't think you're really welcome there. So I would say don't go. But for Black women, you could check out her channel. And I don't mean you're not welcome there. Like, I don't want it to seem like she said anything harsh about that. That wasn't the right thing to say. Her channel is specifically for Black women. Black men aren't in there commenting, black women aren't in there. I mean, black men aren't in there, um, engaging. And so saying all that to say, still one of my, favorite channels. I usually, if I'm home, I'll watch her Saturdays at 10 a.m. or I'll catch the replay later. So anyway, we're not going to be here super long. Did I share? Let me see. Did I share? I might not have shared yet. Oh, sorry, y'all. So today we are going to talk about basically the gutting of women's rights as we know it. And I did want to show a picture. I'll try to remember to do that later, but let me see if I can show y'all who. Let me do that now because I'll forget. So I want to show you who Maya Wiley is, just for those of you who may not know who she is, and I referenced her. So give me a second. Share screen, and I'm just going to show you her face so that this way. This way you'll know, like when you see her, you will know who she is. Okay. So I gotta present, stop share. Share. Now I got to go back and bring it up to stage. Okay, so this is Maya Wiley, for those of you. She's the president and CEO of Civil Rights Org, racial justice advocate, former candidate for New York City mayor, and current cat lover. So she is hated. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I know she has children, but I don't know if she's still married. So this is Maya Wiley when you get a chance. Check out her conversation with Joyanne Reed. That was yesterday. Okay, so back to presenting the other channel. I mean, the other tab, share screen. Okay, now bring it up. And so, like I said, today the topic is their plans versus our plans. Based on this information, I can't even say I don't want people to move abroad, because I really do. If you don't move abroad right now, I want you to prepare. I want you to have the option to, should you need to, because this information is concerning. And we're going to quickly go through just I'm not going to start off reading the deets about what this looks like. We'll get back into it. But for those of you, it's Saturday. If you got to go do something, at least you will get an insight as to what is at stake, right? So we're talking about Project 2025, which is you know what? We'll talk about exactly what Project 2025 is after I go over this, because some of you, I keep forgetting, like everyone is not reading this stuff. And so I will do a summary of Project 2025 in a minute. But as it relates to women, let's just quickly talk about some of the things that this manifesto, this 900-page manifesto, really describes in details that they want to do to not only marginalized communities, but also women. They want to gut women's workplace rights. They want to roll back women's educational equality. They want to promote the patriarchal family and biblical-based marriage. And I think, destroy reproductive rights. So this is our body, but his choice, right? It will be their rights. The men's rights on what women can do with their reproductive bodies. And so it's actually also known as the criminalization of women. And so that is a quick overview of what we're going to kind of just talk about a little bit more today. But I do want to just give a breakdown, a quick summary of what the what Project 2025 is. Okay, and I'm taking this from their page first because I don't want it to be like, oh, she's lying or that's not what it is. Let's talk about it, what they have said their platform represents. So let me stop sharing this for a second, and then I'm gonna go share the, okay, present, share screen. 1 second. Why is this not over here? I gotta bring this to the Chrome. Okay. Okay, so we are on their page. And these are their words, once again, as you can see, project2025.org. Go to their About page, you can read it for yourself. Building now for a conservative victory through policy, personnel, and training. The actions of liberal politicians in Washington have created a desperate need and unique opportunity for conservatives to start undoing the damage the left has wrought and build a better country for all Americans. Asterisk, some exclusions apply. They're not thinking about building a better America for us. But anyway, it is not enough for conservatives to win elections. If we are going to rescue the country from the grip of the radical left, we need both a governing agenda and the right people in place. Have you been checking out the pics? Have y'all seen the pics of the right people they're talking about? Be afraid, be very afraid. Right people in place ready to carry this agenda out on day one of the next conservative administration. The goal, well, this is the goal of the 2025 presidential transition project, aka Project 2025. The project will build on 4 pillars that will collectively pave the way for an effective conservative administration. These are the 4 pillars: a policy agenda, personnel, training, and a 180-day playbook. We talked about that earlier. They're not playing. Within 6 months, they are trying to dismantle the institution, the governmental institutions as we know them now. And so I don't want to read. I guess I can't. Let me, because it's only 2 more. The project is the effort of a broad coalition of conservative organizations that have come together to ensure a successful administration begins in January 2025. With the right conservative policy recommendations and properly vetted and trained personnel to implement them, we will take back our government. The Presidential Transition Project is being organized by the Heritage Foundation and builds off Heritage's longstanding mandate for leadership, which has been highly influential for presidential administrations since the Reagan era. Most recently, the Trump administration relied heavily on Heritage's mandate for policy guidance, embracing nearly 2/3 of Heritage's proposal within just 1 year of office. So that's in their words. This is not Kim with the gems making anything up. We know that they want to dismantle what the extreme right, the extreme leftists have built. And we know a lot of what they're calling the extreme leftists have built is support of affirmative action, diversity and inclusion, women's rights, the Me Too movement. Okay, there will no longer be any Me Too's there will be nobody to Me Too to, right? So all of these things will be dismantled, and um, social services, including things like Medicaid and Medicare for our elders or our retired population. And so this is what they're looking to do. Now, I also want to bring up. I want to bring that other document back up, but hold on a second. I want to open these other tabs so I don't have to keep switching. 1 second. Okay, one more tab and go ahead and try to jot down some of these references. You can do your research because all of these resources are available for free to do your own research, to get talking points when you're talking to family members that think you're just, you know, doing the most, doing too much. These are documents that you can share with them. Okay, so let me remove. Before we go on a little deeper, I'm going to start at the bottom and then work my way up to see if there's any questions. The people who wrote that document are now being placed into positions within 100%. And he claimed he didn't know who they were or what this document was. And now, miraculously, these same people have made it to the top of his cabinet list. Thank you, Raw Reality. The inmates are running the asylum, or the jail. Some people say the inmates have taken over. Okay. Basically, they want to go back to slavery times. That is what Project 2025 is about in a nutshell. Thank you. What was it? I don't know if y'all realize that everything that what they did was literally take every advancement of integration, diversity, um, making this country for everyone, and they totally flipped it. So the word woke is now, oh my gosh, you're a woke person. Like, it has totally flipped on its head. Everything from affirmative action is, instead of it helping people who had often just not even been considered for anything from getting into certain schools or getting certain jobs, now it's being weaponized that that's the only reason people were selected to get into these schools or get these certain jobs, not talking about the legacies that have helped them, throughout centuries, not talking about the nepotism in corporate that has helped them, but they want to dismantle everything, every type of advantage, or I can't even say advantage, but trying to get us all on an even playing field is going to be dismantled. So exactly. Um, yeah, so yeah, there's no consulate in South Carolina, but it'll be worth the trip. It'll be worth. You may have to go twice to depending on if they issue visas the same day. Um, Yeah, you can. I'm not going to put their links in. I think they're in some other videos. They're not going to be. I'm not going to go. I just don't have the bandwidth to keep going back and putting descriptions or getting the links. But you can Poverty to Paradise. And did I say Stephanie Perry? So those are the two people you can look up on YouTube. But if I had a team of people, and I think somebody may have answered already. Try New Brunswick just got my visa last month. Oh, got my residency. Is that your residency temporal? 2 weeks later? Yes, I'm telling people. So for those of you that don't know, I also do Mexican residency strategy calls and help people get to the next step, whatever that next step is for them. So if it's starting out the process, if it's doing the process once you get, or finishing the process once you get to Mexico, whatever it is, wherever you are in that journey, I do residency calls, Mexican residency strategy calls. And of the 3 people from last week, all 3 of them have gotten appointments, even though, and 2 of them, you and another person, well, 2 of them, excuse me, plus you, have gotten their appointments in New Brunswick. Even though some people are saying everything is booked up, everything is, I can't get no one on the phone, no one's emailing me back again. So congratulations on that. Okay, let's get back to the topic. Okay, I just wanted to see if there was any questions about the Heritage Foundation. Y'all know I can go. Okay. I'm just going to do this one. I should go on Roland Martin Unfiltered. He has a huge audience and your info can go out to more people. Oh, I'm not ready for that, y'all. I'm not ready. I mean, I'm going to let God do what God does, but right now, this is manageable for me. There are other people out here having, conversations. And again, this came out of nowhere, and it was only supposed to be for 7 days, and now here we are at day 21, 22. And yeah, I don't know if a bigger platform is what God has for me right now, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. So now let's get into some more of these mandates that they are looking. Okay, I'll start with the document that I started with before I switched to the Heritage Foundation. Let me pull that back up. Women's, okay. So now I have to bring this up to the screen, add to stage. Okay, y'all can see that. Perfect. Okay, great. So let's get into, and again, if you have a question, do me a favor, either put the question mark in front or 3 Qs, Q, 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 and I'll be able to distinguish questions from somebody answering somebody else's comment or question. So I'd appreciate that. So let's go through quickly. We're not going to read the entire document, and I'm going to tell you this is a source from. But I like this source because it's in an easy to read. It's not a whole lot of legal jargon, but it breaks down exactly the core pillars of how this changing of the guard is going to strategically try to weaken the rights of, and completely get rid of the rights of women, for women in the US. So gutting women's workplace rights. Whenever I say women, take Black women and times it by 10. So when you talk about gutting women's workplace rights, remember Black women, not just the workplace rights, but anything related to DEI or any type of affirmative action or any type of concessions that what they think are concessions for Black women makes you an even bigger target. And just know that. So while this article just references women, Black women will get the brunt of this. So Project 2025 eviscerates women's long-held rights to sex equality in the workplace. It calls for the Grump to rescind executive orders signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in the mid-60s that prohibited federal contractors from discriminating on the basis of race and sex. Race and sex. So that's what I mean, times 10, not times 2, times 10. So race and sex, that's the categories we fall under, Black women. And it would weaken Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits sex discrimination in employment. First, it would narrow the meaning of the word sex in Title VII to mean the biological binary meaning of sex, allowing employment discrimination based on gender stereotypes. And I'm going to give you the resource for this, so you could read more of it at your leisure, because it's a lot. And like I said, we're not going to be here long today. let's just go to the next area where women will be adversely affected. Rolling back women's educational equality. The Heritage Foundation plans the Heritage Foundation's plan calls for the elimination of the Department of Education, which many of us know, but I don't think many of us know what that means, which enforces Title IX, the law that prohibits sex discrimination in education. It would allow Title IX enforcement only through litigation field, excuse me, only through litigation filed by the Department of Justice, a costly, time-consuming, and inefficient way to enforce the law. As with employment, Project 2025 recommends ending disparate impact on discrimination claims and narrowing the meaning of sex to biological sex recognized at birth, which would allow the use of gender stereotypes in education and remove protections for LGBTQ plus students. It would also prohibit public school teachers from using a student's chosen name and pronouns. The plan would increase public funding for religious education through expansion of school choice policies and give federal education funds to states as block grants. So we talked about that earlier this week, where there are, mandates now about religion in schools and Bibles, and some of the some of the prayers or the commandments that are being promoted in these schools are not even accurate. And so we need a plan because when we fail to plan, failure is imminent. So next up, rolling back women's educational equality. I'm just going to read the intro for the sake of time. The Heritage Foundation's plan calls for the elimination. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We did that already. My bad. This is the key, the most important, well, not the most important, but this affects everybody. So if you're not working and if you have no kids in school or you're not in school, that this is like, okay, whatever. But this document that they want to implement into a reality promotes the patriarchal family and biblically based marriage. Okay. Project 2025 promotes traditional homosexual marriage, stigmatizing single parenthood and same-sex spouses. Let me just read that first category again. Stigmatizing single parenthood. Black women times 10. So while this is for women, Black women times 10 will be stigmatized. And cutting programs to support single mothers and their children. Let me highlight this for the people who maybe can't. Oh, I hope I can hide. Oh, I might not be able to highlight it. Sorry. I thought this was this is on a Google Doc. It's not on my slides yet. No. So cutting programs to support single mothers and their children, who will be impacted the greatest? What class of people? What race of people? It directs the next president to develop policies and programs to maintain a biblically based, social science reinforced definition of marriage and family. The Christian fundamentalist idea of a biblically based marriage sets men as the breadwinners and leaders in the family, while women are subordinate to their husbands and serve them as caregivers of children. So, when Homeboy said the catless, excuse me, the childless cat ladies, where did that come from? That came from this. And the childless cat ladies have no place in the new normal, the new American society. And so it will pressure single mothers to marry. Child. It will pressure single fathers to marry, prioritizing married fathers' engagement in its messaging under health and welfare policies. So if you're not married, you ain't welcome here. You are not welcome in this new world. To make single parenting harder, the plan recommends adding work requirements for single parents receiving any non-cash benefits worth $50, oh gosh, per month for 6 consecutive months. So if you get any type of aid for $50 a month for over 6 months, oh, you're gonna have to work for that. You're not just not getting a check. And this is for parents. This isn't for single, no children. This is for parents who may need additional aid. They're going to be required. So that $50, what? You can't even pay a babysitter for you with that money. Like this is so much. There's so much. So it's 9:54. Destroying reproductive rights. Now they have been talking about this at arm's length. I don't like the way they messaged it because so many walked away thinking that this only means willy-nilly termination of pregnancies. That's not what it means. The proposal restricts reproductive rights, and it focuses not only abortions, but also on contraception, sex education, and gender-affirming healthcare. The plan would eliminate the Reproductive Healthcare Access Task Force within the Department of Health and Human Services. He already has a pick for that, right? And so this you might as well consider this done. His loyalist is ready to pull the trigger on this. Okay, so task force within the Department of Health and Human Services and replace it with the Department of Life. See, some of y'all don't even know this. Like they're changing the task force for reproductive health care to the Department of Life to eliminate support for reproductive rights throughout the federal government. It's our body, his choice. So it's more than just going to terminate your pregnancy. This is if you can't afford more children and you want to be on birth control. That's not an option. If you have health issues that put your life at risk or in jeopardy, so you want to control, not putting yourself at risk, that won't be an option. And so it calls for the reversal of Biden's administration policy that requires hospitals to offer abortions in medical emergencies, regardless of the state ban. So I don't know if everyone knows, but when doctors become doctors, they have to take a Hippocratic oath. And part of that oath is to do no harm. They are now saying pretty much, don't matter if it does harm. You cannot do this. It doesn't matter if this person will be harmed by you not doing this. And so we're going to have to be conscious of our healthcare, which is another reason why I did a video on the best places around the world with healthcare. There's a reason why these topics that have made it to the first 3 weeks because of the urgency of them, right? We have more topics that we're going to discuss. They may not, be as urgent, but the mission of this live today is if you haven't thought about getting residency someplace else, now is the time. And listen, guess what? No one has a crystal ball. None of this stuff may ever come to pass. Do I believe some of it will? Yes, but I don't have a crystal ball. So have an option. Your freedoms only lie within your options. So if you don't have an option to vacate this abusive relationship, then you're stuck in it. And so that's pretty much that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in a nutshell. There are some other references that I quickly want to show you, and then I'll get to some questions, and then we'll be out of here within the next 8 to 10 minutes. So there is a, I'm just going to read this. I'm not going to pull it up. Hold on a second. Let me remove this document, and then I'm going to read this really quick. So this is an article that was on Yahoo News, and the title is "What's Behind Warnings About No-Fault Divorce Under Grumpy's Presidency." It's an article from the 23rd of November, so it's relatively new. Within hours of Grump's winning, his becoming the next man in charge, women took to social media with a warning. If you are in a broken marriage, get out now. Divorce laws would change once Grump is in office, citing the Project 2025 conservative policy document for the next Republican administration. If you are a woman in the United States who is currently in an unhappy or miserable or abusive marriage, please do whatever you have to do to get divorced. This person is saying, but for January 20th. Project 2025 is getting rid of no-fault divorce. If a woman wants a divorce for whatever reason and the husband doesn't, no divorce. This will keep women trapped in violent marriages. But that is the point. No-fault divorce is a legal process that allows a couple to end a marriage without proving one's person's behavior is to blame. It is currently allowed in all 50 states. There is a movement at the state level among GOP lawmakers to end no-fault divorce. Now, he's put all these attorney generals, all these young conservative, right-wing, extreme conservative attorney generals at the top. Listen, we have one in New York coming in January. And so this is something that is not a figment of imagination. This is written down for you to see in the document. And someone says, I just want to, it says, I think that it's possible and it's a legitimate worry, but it isn't going to happen in one day. This is Marcia Zug, a family law professor at the University of South Carolina's Rice School of Law. So, no, it's not going to happen on January 20th, but they have a 180-day commitment. And listen, what do I preach here? You have to have a timing. You have to have a plan. That was yesterday's live. It was all about getting that plan in place. I believe in 28-day challenges to help get you to the goal. I think anything greater than that can be a little overwhelming for some people. And so that is my recommendation. Also check the description. I always put my resources that help anyone who's stuck in this movement. And you will see the From Here to There guide. I'm not going to give details of it, but From Here to There guide to help you look at the top 8 places of that Black expats are moving to. And there's clickable links that you can do your resource so you don't have to scour the internet. There is a guide to Mexican residency that gives you clickable links to every Mexican consulate in the US. There is a plan to produce 28-day challenge and accountability workbook that helps you stay on track week by week. It's what I use in my investment community. It's what I use to do this challenge that we're doing right now, the Stay Ready So We Don't Have to Get Ready challenge. And it keeps me focused. I set a goal for the week, go live. That's how I started. This is how I started using the plan, then produce for 7 straight days. I wasn't sure if I could do one, but for 1 week, I was going to do at least 6 live videos. That's how, if you look at the first video posted on November 10th, that was my commitment. And on November 11th, that was my commitment. It wasn't until the week was over that I reflected, I analyzed, I saw that this was the information that the peoples wanted, my peoples wanted. So I committed to go again, but I'm working on 7-day strategies. And so we have to have a plan just like they have a plan. This document is a roadmap. You too need a roadmap. So that's why this was titled Their Plan for Us. But what is our plan for us? Their plan versus our plan. We have to plan. So check out the description box. And if you need any of the resources, go ahead and get them. If you need to set up a consultation call, my calendar is open through December, January. I have some traveling to do while we'll continue to do lives. I don't know that I will be able or when I will be able to do consultation calls. I want to, because I know there's people out here that really need it. But I got to get my ducks in a row. And it's going to take me to the South for some weeks. So if you can get it now, and the price goes up. I mean, not goes up. It's on sale right now. They're $50 off each of the consultation calls, but on December 2nd, they go back up to the regular price. So I'm going to do. Oh, shoot. They did? I didn't. They removed the do no harm part out of the damn. Oh, my cousin just got her well, she's doing her rest. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I have to look that up. Thanks, Christine. When did that happen? Oh my gosh, hold on. I have to write that down to look up. I knew it was coming. I didn't know it had already happened. Because during last year, it was still there. I know that because I had a conversation with somebody specifically about this. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through. If there's a queue, I'm looking for the queues. Okay, I see a queue. Mexican Consulate for visa in Raleigh. Is that a question? If so, yeah, there's one in Raleigh. I've read some things about that one recently that supposedly okay, my light's out because we're over an hour. It always goes out within the hour like clockwork, and I don't think I'm going to be here for an hour. Yeah, I've heard some things about them starting to deny Black applicants. Can you post the location where we can read both documents? So what I am going to do, I'm not going to post it, but I did say I was going to share them. So do me a favor, check my community tab no later than tomorrow. I'm going to try to get it up there tonight. And so one of the resources I gave you, right? Oh, I did tell you I was going to, oh, that's what it was. Yes. So the article, the article about the women's right, and I just want to make sure it's miss.com. So here it is. So it's missmagazine.com. And they did a 3-part series breaking down how Project 2025 will affect women. And the 3-part series is, I'm trying to find it quickly. But if you just go to msmagazine.com and put in Project 2025, you will get their, you will see what they've covered so far in there. Well, they've done all 3 parts already. So I was trying to just read off the 3 parts really quick, but I can't. Okay. Oh, here it is. 3-part series. Okay. So the 3 parts are misogynistic manifesto. That's what they're calling Project 2025. Fighting Project 2025's plan to dismantle democracy as we know it. The other part of the series, Project 2025's plan to gut women's rights in the workplace and classrooms. And then the other part is Project 2025 say yes to biblically based marriages, and no to reproductive rights. So that's the 3-part series. But if you go to MS Magazine, missmagazine.com, and put in Project 2025 or Misogynistic Manifesto series, you will get that information. And so there's too many ads. I don't want to show the page because there's too many ads popping up, and I don't know how, I don't think YouTube would be happy with that. So I won't pull it up. Okay, so let's see if there's any more questions. Yes, religion in school only means Christianity. They don't care about any other religions, which is interesting because Judaism, especially in places, like New York, like you have all types of religious beliefs. How they'll implement that, especially when you have teachers of different backgrounds and different religious, beliefs. It's going to be a time. Do I help? Yes, I do. I do help with strategies moving. So again, Panama is one of the from here to there destinations um, in the resource guide that I put together and is available, for purchase. So Panama, the top 8 destinations, and I'm not going to remember them offhand, but it's Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, the UK, Kenya, Portugal, and I can't remember the other 2, and I'm not going to waste time trying to, but you can check out the link. So I do offer. So that would be, it wouldn't be, you wouldn't do a Mexican residency strategy call. You would do a stay ready coaching call, right? And so those are the 2 calls that are available right now. So that would, if you're not doing Mexican residency, because I give a lot more tips, tricks, and gems based on my experience. But if you're doing a strategy call, if you're doing any place other than Mexico, it would be a coaching call. And so you can check that out on the site. Most of these white people who got jobs got them because they knew somebody who knew somebody who knew. Exactly. So if I didn't say hi to you, hi everyone, but it is 10:10 and I just want to get through the questions and then we're back tomorrow. So that's the thing. I haven't finalized the time for tomorrow. More than likely it will be 7 p.m. Tomorrow, but I will post sometime today. Let's see. Oh no, Kiki B. Yeah, I didn't hear they were throwing them out, but I heard they were definitely denying them, and people there were people who met the requirements above and beyond who got denied with no explanation. And that's the thing, they don't have to explain. They don't have to explain. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Raleigh may not be you may want to go to Atlanta if it's between Atlanta and Raleigh. If it was me, I would go to Atlanta. You Googled the do no harm removal and it does not contain the verbiage any longer. Interesting. More research. Wow, Cynthia. I knew it was coming, but I thought it would wait until the transferring of the guards. That is insane. QQQ. So we can get our visas here in the US before getting in the airport in Mexico. If you're going for an extended amount of time, then you have to get your visa here in the US. Now, if you want to risk just getting your visas while you get there, when you get to Mexico, you're at the whim, or you're at the immigration officers, basically you're under his determining how long you're going to stay. So it used to be like almost a guaranteed 180 days. I have read not only from Black people, from white people as well, they got stamped for 40 days. They got stamped for 2 weeks. They got stamped for 80 days. So there's no guarantee on how long you'll get the stamp for. Americans used to almost be able to bank on the fact that they would get 180 days. That is not anymore. And I think they're going to have to slow down the influx of people that are trying to get there. And then another thing that's happening, people know there's right now, it may change though, but there's a way to get residency in Mexico just by overstaying your visa by 1 day. So I think that they're making it harder for people who go, like, let's just say, I think that's going to change in a lot of the immigration offices because you don't have to prove that you can afford to live there. There's too many, it's too open and too broad for people. And so I believe there's going to be some changes that happen on the immigration side in Mexico as well. But getting your visa, you want to get your residency, if possible, your extended visa, so that's your residency visa, rather it's temporary or permanent. You want to get that here in the US, because once you get to Mexico, you have 30 days to transfer that over to your residency card, and then you don't have to leave. You could come and go as you please. So I hope that answers your question. Let me see. QQQ. Hey, extraterrestrial, does filing bankruptcy in the US cause issues when seeking visa or residency abroad? So it depends upon where you are. Like, you have to still prove that I know from Mexico, you have to prove that there are people who have filed bankruptcy who have moved abroad and gotten residency. What is your financial status like? What has it been like for the last 12 months? That is the most important thing with Mexico. Can you meet the financial solvency requirements? And that's another thing. Let's just say all of these things, once they get, in place, Grump has the Supreme Court on his side and will for the rest of our lifetimes, because he is going to get rid of the old ones, bring in the new ones who are younger and even more extreme. So basically, so when Grump concluded Supreme Court judges, we saw when he overturned, we saw it coming. Now, women's rights are taken away in the US, starting with Florida. We saw it coming. Listen, not only women's rights, but also there's a video that I did, I'm going to say 2022, about the how Black women and childbirth can often equal, DEATH here in the US because of lack of health care. That's going to even get worse, because the other point I didn't bring up, Medicaid, which I think covers 50 or 60, I forgot the number, a majority of Medicaid and Medicare cover a majority. I think it's Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid, definitely. These social programs are responsible for covering the cost of many of these births. So if we're already losing our lives at a higher rate than our counterparts, you gut these Medicaid programs. Ciao. The number of men in nursing is alarming. Equal spies. I don't know what menin is. Sorry. Thank you for spreading the word. My daughter and I have our plans. Yay, Alana. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I am going to I see 2 more questions. Let me get there. Besides Mexico, is there any other country you suggest getting residency? Yeah. And listen, just go to the From Here to There resource guide. You'll see the top 8 on the front page. Even if you don't get the resource guide, you could see the top 8 that have the highest concentration, or that is most popular for Black expats. Did I say Costa Rica? Costa Rica is part of that too. So Kim, not sleeping, helping everybody out. Thanks, Kim. Rest when you can. Yeah, I do get rest. I do. Last week was rough because, there was some family. I had a loss in my family, but I get my rest, child. I try to get my rest. Mexico is a country that allowed as a tourist, but more people are claiming. Yeah. So Mexico was the country that allowed you to stay 180 days as a tourist, but more people are claiming that they're only stamping for 40 days. Yep. Like him said, you'll probably, and it may go down less. Now, there are other places where I think, like they said, Austria or something, you automatically get a year on your visa. But, if you want to go someplace close and you want to go someplace that a huge expat community is going to, start getting your residency options in order. When you travel without a visa, you need to tell them you're coming as a tourist. Most countries do not require you to get a visa as a tourist. That's changing though. That's changing. Europe is, I think by mid 2025, a lot of countries are going to make Americans get a tourist visa, a visa as a tourist visa. Okay. All right. U.S. president with the same bloodline. Yep. Okay. They're all, yeah, listen, they're not for us. I know that. This is the last question. No, is that yeah, that's the last question. This is the last question. And then let's see. And if you haven't, do me a favor. If you haven't hit that like button, do me a favor, hit it now. Please, 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 please. Before I read the last question, I'm going to give you time. Sorry. I'm going to give you time to hit that like button. I'm going to count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So, where's that question go? Oh, here it is. Is there a specific city? Did I pull it up? No. Oh, what is this? Yeah. Is there a specific city area in Mexico to go? What about the travel and the cartel raids? Just something I heard. Perhaps it was wrong. Yeah, listen, we did videos on the safest city. I did a video on the safest city. Check out the playlist. And check out, there's a video dropping tonight or this afternoon, I think around 3. It's an interview. It's targeting the millennials. My host for our Black Travel Talks series under the Black Travel and Culture umbrella interviews a millennial who made the move with his family to Mexico, and he brings that up. And he also brings up how his father asked the same questions, and then what happened when his father came to visit him. So it's a great conversation. And so, yeah, a lot of that is, now I'm not saying they don't exist, right? But just like, the mob exists here, right? But do we worry every day walking down the street if the mob is going to come get us? No, there are different organized crimes that exist in our country, just like there are in other countries. They don't have any desire for you if you're not doing anything that affects their money. Meaning, if you're not engaging in the activities that they engage in, they could care less. And so as long as I've spent in Mexico, in all of the communities that I'm connected to in Mexico, never have I ever heard of any one of us being caught up unless we went there to be caught up. And so, yeah, so I think that's it, guys. I definitely appreciate your time. We'll be back tomorrow. I think it's going to be 7. Check out the live from yesterday where we talked about getting your plan together, the urgency of that. I played some motivational audio that, if you're stuck, hopefully can help you get unstuck. Again, we're continuing on these daily lives through the remainder of the year. We'll probably take off some time, because like I said, with Thanksgiving, I appreciate people who spend time just either resting because they work all year and they only get a certain amount of days off, or spending time with family. And now when you're spending time with family, start having these conversations. Make sure your family stays ready so they don't have to get ready. Rather, it's their passports, their social security card, updating their debit cards, their credit cards, whatever, but just making sure that we stay ready. So we'll be back live through December. I plan to come back in January too. I have to have a talk with Guy because I do have some things I need to do, and I haven't even booked my ticket yet to go, but I have to deal with courts and stuff like that when I'm there, real estate, all of that. So I got to figure out January. But for now, we are definitely come back and read the people's comments, because I think they're saying some great things. But Gemstone Nation, I love you. Thank you, LaRonda, for reminding me to definitely shout you out. Y'all have really been helping with the conversation and dropping your own gems. And I appreciate it. Because like I said, I don't have all the answers, but I definitely know what I know. And I'm not going to hold it in. Like, I need y'all to know this too. So again, thank you, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Yes, Stephanie Perry is on now. please, if you're interested in exiting, she has a huge platform, a great platform for Black women who are interested in exiting the country. I want it to be out by 10. But, this right here, and this is what was the prime time, because I have some running to do today. This was prime time for me to come in, and this conversation, we're going to continue this Project 2025 conversation on a weekly basis for the rest of the year, because I think people don't really understand it and don't really understand what's at stake. And it's too late really now for us to change the results, right? But that's not going to stop us from making a plan. So with that being said, everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Let's just say 7 o'clock for now. Okay, take care. Bye.